What's going on, everybody? It's Pack here with another character concept video, as well as talking a little bit about Iron Fist because he just got announced for the game and he looks freaking amazing. So with that being said, I thought Shang Chi would be a good character to go over today. Is a strategist in my concept. I thought, Shang Chi was the mentor of Lin Lie, who's the Iron Fist that we've got coming into the game now. So I thought, well, dang, this is the perfect time to talk about my Iron Fist character concept that I have. So we'll get right into that. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Iron Fist now. He looks amazing. I think Marvel Rivals is doing such a good job of adapting these characters from the comics into this game. On top of the fact that I feel like creating a melee character in a game like this and making them look fun and interesting is really difficult. So props to them for like really doing a good job of making a melee character just look so good. I mean, they've already done that with some of the other characters they have in game, Spider-Man being primarily melee, obviously Magic, and a couple others. But like, yeah, I can't wait. This is going to be definitely in my top 5 characters to play when I'm playing Duelist. So it looks so good. His ultimate looks great. His kit looks really fun and interesting. So yeah, I'm really hyped about this character. So I can't wait to see what the other characters look like. I mean, Squirrel Girl looks fun. We've got a couple more getting revealed over the next few days leading up to launch. And speaking of that, me and my buddy Keys are going to be streaming on Twitch on launch day at Master Keys. I'll probably drop links to that in the description, so if you want to watch us, check us out on Twitch. But yeah, let's get into the character concept now. So starting out, my version of Shang-Chi is a stance character, so he's able to switch between Kung Fu and using his 10 rings. And these 10 rings will be more like the MCU version of the 10 rings as opposed to the older Marvel Comics 10 rings. So just keep that in mind as I talk about what the abilities do. Okay, so his primary attack when he's in 10 ring stance. Oh, by the way, we'll start with that. We're going to talk about his 10 rings stance first, and then we'll talk about his Kung Fu stance. So we'll go through the abilities for each as they apply to the stance. So his primary fire in the 10 ring stance is the 10 rings. So he shoots them out one by one. It'll be kind of like a Zenyatta, the way that he shoots his orbs. Imagine that, but with Shang-Chi's 10 rings. And then his secondary fire, just like Zenyatta, he can charge up all 10 at the same time and then release them in almost a single shot kind of a situation. So his first ability in in both stances, or I guess, is his ability to switch between stances. So he'll have a stance switch button that he can use to switch stances on the fly. And that'll have, like a 1 second, maybe 2 second cooldown between stances so that you can't just spam switching between the two. But that's like a main part of his kit is being able to switch between the two different stances. So his first ability and his 10 ring stance is called Ring Whip. And so he basically takes his rings, slams them down forward in front of him in a straight line, and it deals damage to anyone in the line. So it essentially pierces through enemies and can hit multiple at once. It's a quick burst option for if you have a large crowd in front of you and, want to be able to dish out a decent amount of damage to all of them at once. So that's his first ability while in 10 ring stance. His second ability in the 10 ring stance is called Burst Circle. So basically he recalls all the rings and then bursts out from him in a quick succession, knocking back enemies and dealing damage. So this is sort of a get off me tool that Shang-Chi has as a strategist so that he can keep protected in the back line. So that's his 10 ring stance. The next thing we'll talk about is his Kung Fu stance. So during his Kung Fu stance, he doesn't shoot his 10 rings, but instead uses melee combat. So he'll be punching and kicking kind of like Spider-Man, or in this case, the way that Iron Fist does in his kit. So in Kung Fu stance, his primary fire is a simple Kung Fu melee barrage. His first ability in the Kung Fu stance is his ring protection. So he sends out a handful of rings, probably 2 or 3, to a teammate, reducing incoming damage and healing them over time for 3 seconds or 4 seconds, depending. He cannot switch stances while that is active, so if he uses ring protection, he's locked in on his Kung Fu stance until the timer or the cooldown is over, or until he uses his other ability, which is Healing Circle, and that's where he recalls all the 10 rings. So if he has ring protection out, he recalls those rings, and he creates a sort of healing radius around himself kind of like Lucio does in Overwatch. So there's like a radius around him that's using the rings, and if he uses ring protection after using that ability, it reduces the size of the ring, and since those rings are being used to heal another ally. So that's where his healing comes in, is through his healing circle and his ring protection. So he's kind of like a mix-up strategist character. He's not all about healing. He's got some offense capabilities, different ranges that he can go into, but he does have healing capabilities when necessary. If he switches stances while using the healing circle, it cancels that, obviously, because he goes into 10 ring stance, and that would require his rings for his primary fire. So those are his abilities and his primary attacks in each stance. And lastly, we have his ultimate. So his ultimate is called Great Protector. Shang Chi calls the Great Protector, who flies in a circle over the summoned area, raining down healing and reducing damage to all teammates in the radius. So basically imagine like this big dragon and it's flying in the sky, and underneath in a circle where that dragon is flying, all of the allies who stand in the radius are getting healed, as well as having a damage reduction. So it's a really good way to like take an area and allow your team to control a fight in a certain specific area. So that is the Shang-Chi character concept, and yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you like this and want to see more characters, drop a like and a comment and subscribe, and let me know who you want to see next. I've got a lot more planned, as well as some other ideas for some videos, so let me know what you guys want to see. Thanks for watching.